Hey y'all, also hi to fellow dressmakers. You're welcome to my channel. My name is Confidence. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you to my amazing subscribers. Please subscribe and turn on your notification bell so as to be notified each time I upload a new video. So today I'll be sharing with you how to make this beautiful dress with a multiple keyhole neckline and a bold outer pocket on the skirt, and of course the circular sleeve. So if that sounds like what you're interested in learning, definitely keep watching. Watch till the very end so as to get all the value packed in this video. Let's do this, guys. So we'll be needing your Ankara fabric, your plain fabric, your tape, your scissors, and then your pattern makers, and of course your pattern paper. So as you can see here, I already drafted my pattern, and I have the neckline of the width is 3.5 by 3 inches. And then the next thing I will do is to determine how low I want the multiple keyhole neckline, and what I did was 6 inches. That's the 3 inches for the neckline plus another 3 inches for the multiple keyhole neckline. And what you see is me marking 3 inches round the neckline and then connecting it. Please note that you can go as low as you want, between 5 to 9 inches or even more than, depending on your preference. But for me, I'll be going for 6 inches, 3 inches for the basic neckline, and then another 3 inches to give room for the multiple keyhole neckline. So after connecting it, the next thing we will do is to take another paper. You can do this with your fabric or your paper stay, the hard one. You take another paper and then you fold, just fold into 2 like this. Do not fold into 4, just 2. And then the next thing we will do is to measure the 3 inches. We measure them around our neckline, and then after that we will determine how wide you want it to be. For me, I'm going for 0.75. You can go as wide as 1 inch, but 0.75 is okay for me. And this is me connecting it. You can see how I shaped it. It was thin from the tip and then wide as I go down, just like an egg shape, an oval shape. So now we'll cut, and after cutting we'll take it back to the space we created before around the neckline. This is me just trimming off the excess around the tip. So you can see how I placed it. The folding part is facing me, while the part that is open is facing the other side. Just watch what I'm doing. And after marking this, we'll check the distance between this and the next keyhole. As you see on the thumbnail, the keyhole is 5 inches, 2 on both sides and then 1 on the center. So because our neckline will be cut on fold, that's why we folded the first one, and then while doing the second one we will not fold, we will open it and then trace it out, just the way I'm doing it. This thing is not even hard, it's very much easy. So I'll trace it out and also measure the distance between that and the next one. I'm doing 1 inch intervals, guys. That's 1 inch space between the other. Just what I'm doing, it's as easy as that. And that's basically it. So after that, I'm gonna head to cut out my to use the pattern to cut out on my fabric and both the lining, and I've also gummed my interface. So the next thing I'll show you now is how to do the multiple keyhole or teardrop. So because I didn't cut my pattern on fold earlier, I'll now take another pattern, this time around on fold, and then place my actual pattern on it, and then trace out with my tracing wheel. Just watch what I'm doing. This is just for it to reflect on the second pattern. I'll trace out all the lines on it, and I'll show you. This is me trying to show you, but it's as good as not showing you because the camera didn't show that. So I want to quickly show you, in case you don't have a tracing wheel, you can use your pencil to do this. A pencil is even more reflective on the camera afterwards. What you just do is that the same way you traced out with the tracing wheel, you would have traced out with the tracing wheel. Just use your pencil to trace it out like that. You just need to apply a little pressure so as for the pencil to reflect on the other pattern. As you can see, it's even more visible on the camera. And then I'll trace out all the other lines, open it and trace out the other ones. And after opening it to trace out the other ones, we should have something like this afterwards. So we should have something like this afterwards. It doesn't affect anything. The next thing I'll do now is to take my center pad and then the lining and place the pattern for the keyholes on it. You can decide to place on the lining or the actual fabric, whichever works for you. It will still give you the same effect. The only thing I recommend is that you do this before joining your pad. It doesn't change anything, but it's just easier that way. So I'll take it to my sewing machine now and sew on the lines that we marked. Do not even give space, just sew on the line and I'll show you. So for the skirt, what I have is just a basic skirt, just a pencil straight skirt. I already have the lining too. The lining is shorter with half an inch, and the back too. And we'll move on to the pocket. Now for the pocket, what you will do is to measure the inches that will be left after taking in your dart. For me, I'm not adding any dart on the skirt, but I'm using the dart for the upper bodice, which will be left by 3.2 inches, and that is what I marked, plus 2 inches. That will be the Ankara that will be placed on it. So I marked 7 inches down, just close to the hip line. Between 6 to 8 inches is fine. It's not a must that you do 7 inches, and this is me connecting it. So this is what we have, and I will cut. Notice that I'm cutting half an inch before the marked area. I'm not cutting directly on the line that I marked because of joining allowance. And please do not discard the part that you cut out because you will need it later. But the next thing I did was to take another pattern, another fabric, unfold, and then placed my skirt on it. And then I'll take that piece that we cut out earlier, place it on it, and then trace out, just to use it as a guide, nothing much. So I connect down to the end of the fabric, and I will add half an inch again as a joining allowance. I'll be cutting my pocket piece in pieces. I'll have 4 pieces actually, but you can decide to do yours on fold. I don't know if you understand, but because I'm already out of fabric, that's why I did mine this way. So I marked 1 inch just before the mid point of the skirt, just this before the center part of the skirt, and then I mark. Just don't want the pocket to get to the center of my pocket, and then I just trimmed it off by 2 inches on the hip side, the part that will be on the hip side. So I now have 4 pieces for my pocket. As I mentioned before, that I will have 4 pieces. So I'll take that part that I said you shouldn't discard, place it on 2 of the pieces that I have for the pocket, just the way you see it here, and then I'll cut. Just place it like that, and then I'll cut. So this is what I have. The next thing I'll do now is to take the skirt and then take one of those 2 pieces that I just cut, place it like that, and then take it to my sewing machine and sew. I'll sew and top stitch, and this is what I have already sew and top stitch. What I'll do now is to take one of the other pieces that do not have a pocket curve, just and place it like this, just the way I'm doing it. So I'll place it like this. Please ignore the notch you see there, it's not for anything, just to remind me that that is the upper part, in case I do not sew the day I cut it. Most times we do things like that, right? So I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it round. Do not sew the upper part, please, not yet. Just stitch on the side down round, and this is what I have. You can see. So what I'll do now is that I'll just use my pin to guide it, and then go to the sewing machine and stitch it. Now is the time you stitch the upper part. I'll do the other side and I'll show you what we have. So this is the finished look. I already ironed it, and now I'll take the pocket facing. I'm using Ankara, just as you can see. Remember the part I told you not to discard? It's still that part that I used to trace out the pocket facing. It's just as simple as that. And then I'll use my hemming gun to gum it. The reason why I didn't do it the neat way is that I might decide tomorrow to do this dress all black. So I'll just remove the Ankara on them without much stress. That's why I'm not stitching it. If not, I would have joined this pocket facing before even doing the pocket, and it will be neater that way. I don't know if you understand. So I already have a long strip too, for the one that will go straight down and the one that will go across my waistline. So now this is what we have for the bustier. I already joined my princess bustier, and this is what I have. And now I will cut. Don't worry, I'm not cutting directly on the line that I stitched. I'm just cutting just a little away from it, just a little, guys. Just watch what I'm doing. I'll just cut, you can see, and then I will notch. Do that for the remaining ones, iron it, and you will see what we have. Please, after cutting and notching, you can decide to remove the papers. It's just easy, just like this. You do that, and this is the part that you have been waiting for. Isn't this beautiful? So I went ahead to use beads in between the lines for the keyhole. I don't know if you understand. You can decide to pipe it with your fabric or bias, but I decided to use beads, and I'm so loving it. So So this is it, and this is the inner part. So beautiful. So now let's go for the sleeves. To cut the sleeves, all you have to do is to just fold the circle into two. You already cut out circle, you fold into two, and then you fold again and iron the four parts, like the two parts. It will turn to four when you open it. So you fold like this and then you iron. If you watch to this point, please like, subscribe and comment. Thank you. And after ironing, the next thing you will do, you see the line, right? The next thing you will do is to fold it again in a way that one part will be shorter. Just watch closely, it's not even that hard. Like this, you fold it again. The line will guide you, that's why we ironed earlier. So you fold like this, and I'll take my tape measure to measure. I have 2 inches here. You can decide to go as much as 3 inches or even more than, depending on how long your circle is. So I'll now iron again to have a new center line. So after that, I'll fold into two again. Just fold it like this. You fold like this and then you iron again. The iron is just to give you a guideline. You can decide to use your chalk to do all of these things, but I think ironing is better and it's even faster. You iron the two sides again, and after that I'll take my tape and measure. What I did was 2.5 round. You can do 2 inches, 3 inches or 4 inches depending on your armhole circumference, but this 2.5 gave me what I wanted. This is me measuring to see if I have the accurate measurements. And now I'll cut. And after cutting out the circumference, remember to open it up and open up the circle from the part that is short, the shorter part of the circle, and then you do same for the lining. After cutting the lining, I pin them together. I'll now take my crinoline and hem it. My previous video on the channel is much more about how to attach crinoline to a circle to have the neat effect. So now I'll keep it like this. Take my crinoline. I like to go in with some inches away from the tip of the circle. Go to my sewing machine and sew it, and now this is what you have after ironing. You can just check out the previous video on the channel to get more for this. So now this is what we have. And then for the gown, all that I did is I attached the strips on the dress. You see more of this. I like attaching my hemming gum on whatever I want to attach to a dress before attaching it on a dress. It's just easier for me that way. I don't like stress. I just keep it like this and then I'll iron. After doing this one, I'll do the one that is across the waistline. You can just decide to have it go all the way to the back, to the zipper area of your back, or you can just leave it at just the front waistline. So this is the end of our tutorial today. Did you learn a new thing? Do let me know in the comment section, and I will see you in my next video. Be good. Bye.